We
We're
are going
trying
to
one more
see, we're going
time.
to give it one more try to see if YouTube or Riverside or everything, they've got their stuff figured out.
Or just the
So
gremlins that have decided
yeah.
to
Or
interfere with
maybe
us
they
today.
even decided it was a holiday weekend and they were done.
Oh, seriously.
It's been crazy. I think it's like everybody was back to, well, like at least around here, everybody's back to school, and it's like that
Yeah,
first week and they're like already ready for the 4-day weekend.
for sure.
I think
Yeah,
that's definitely
no doubt.
on the thing here.
So what are
So,
you seeing? Does it look
oh,
like
somebody said, "Yay!
Oh,
There you
okay.
are.
Yay, look
Awesome.
at that. All right,
Okay.
so third time's the charm, I
Well, there
guess.
you go. Third time the
Too
charm.
late
Yeah,
to
good
start.
deal. I wonder what happened
I
with
don't know.
YouTube. I don't know.
So weird.
Well,
Anyway,
it is good to be back. See, where were we? Mouth noise.
mouth
We were
noise.
talking
Yeah,
about
we
mouth
were
noise before
talking about
technical difficulties, which really
Mhm,
is the bane of our existence as well.
indeed.
We should talk about that at some point.
So
Technical
I
issues.
guess I don't know what anybody heard, if anything.
Yeah, I don't
Should
know
we just
either.
start over?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I think we were it went. Yeah, I don't even know where everybody heard up to, but I think we were just getting where we were talking about, mouth noise, right? Is that pesky noises that we
Mhm.
make with our mouth, like the sloshing noise,
Yeah,
and right,
the
like you just have,
clicking, smacking. Yep.
clicks in your audio,
Mhm.
and we want to remove that.
Yeah.
So again, we were talking about not removing people from that suspension of disbelief. So yeah, so how do you remove mouth noise, Gabby, from your
Well,
audio?
I mean, again, there's the systemic and what we'll call the topical, right? So systemic is dealing with it at the core. It's dealing with it in the
Hmm.
body. And it is basically this is where there are umpteen thousand cures or remedies for it that various voice actors swear by.
Yes.
Probably the biggest, the single most important is hydration. What people
Hmm.
don't understand is that if you're drinking water while you are recording, that's not effective.
Right.
It takes 24 hours for your body to absorb and your cells to fully hydrate. So it's the water you drank yesterday that is fueling your current session, which means you have to increase your water intake substantially.
Yes.
Most people that I've worked with who have had serious cases of mouth noise, that is how they were able to get rid of it. This is also where things that cause saliva production, usually things that are sour
Hmm.
or spicy, can be helpful and effective.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is where you hear people talking about lemon water, cut up green apple sauce, hot sauces, things like that, that again increase saliva and reduce the clicks and the pops and things. So, the best situation is that you deal with it that way.
Yes.
Because honestly and truly, for a lot of clients, removing mouth noise is like photoshopping your audio, and they don't want to do it.
Hmm.
They want the core, the raw audio to be in better shape. Now, it doesn't mean there aren't tools that can help for the occasional mouth noise. That's fine because we all go through that. So, Anthony, go ahead, pick that up. Let's talk about, yeah, the tech side of. But I
Yeah.
was saying, oh, sorry, one thing. I'm so flummoxed now. I don't know what's going on. That
It was the live.
I
The
know.
live got me.
I'm
Talks
very
amongst yourselves.
I know.
I'll
I'm
give you a
very,
topic.
very verklempt. Um,
Clamp.
the the microphone itself, right? It's our best friend and our nemesis when it comes to this, because much like sibilance, mics can exacerbate mouth noise. So if you have a really bright microphone, the same thing like sibilance, it can make it so much worse than it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Yeah. So microphone selection is really critical. Anyway,
Absolutely. No,
yeah.
absolutely. So, real quick. So, as moving on to the technical side, one thing that just I experienced was the more I did, the longer I continued to do voiceover. the less and less I worried about how I was sounding.
Mhm.
And that also in the end, because just like the whole old thing, if you say, I'm looking for a red car, and then all of a sudden there's red cars everywhere, and they didn't just appear out of nowhere, they were always
Yeah.
there, you just didn't see them. But when you started thinking about it, it started coming up more and more. The
Yeah.
same thing with how you sound, mouth noise, and all that. The more you think about it, you even now, if you start thinking about your mouth and saliva, your mouth will start to water.
Yeah.
You'll notice it because it's just our brains are powerful things. So down the road, because like you and I both drink coffee. Gabby and I both drink coffee, and there's this whole thing where you should never drink coffee for your stuff. I drink coffee, and I'm fine. So I
Mhm.
think it's just it also gets better over time as you become more confident in yourself.
Yeah.
So the technical stuff. So fortunately, we have some really good tools out there, phenomenal tools. Well, actually, there's only one, one or two really that are actually great. Okay. But every DAW typically has some sort of mouth click, mouth noise
Yeah.
removal, in it, where you can use. Usually, the ones that come with your DAWs are okay. They're not great. They're okay, and you have to be very careful when using any of these tools to make sure we're not putting them all the way up to max. We're not trying to overdo it because it can degrade your audio quite
Badly.
significantly. And
Badly.
once you save it like that, you cannot go back. You have to
Mm-mm.
re-record it, right? We call it, is it destructive? Is it destroying
Yeah.
your audio? So it's very important that you're aware of that. Now, I would say that, pretty much the industry standard, and I live by this one plugin that comes from this company, and I think of all the voiceovers I've done so far in my career, when I got it before, I didn't know it existed, so I didn't do it before. But every voiceover since, the thousands of voiceovers since, I've used it. All right, and that's the Mouthy Click from Isotope. All right, in the RX standard.
Yeah.
It's pricey a little bit at first. You don't have to keep buying it over, even though they produce a new one every year.
Mhm.
You don't have to. You can use. People still using ones like 4, 5, 6. I think it's on 11 now.
Mhm.
But it's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. And, it does come in a suite. But I will say that out of all of them, that is the one that I recommend. I would pay a lot of even 10 times more money for it than what they charge, just because we do a lot of long form. Now you can remove these manually with
Mhm.
your DAW as well,
Yeah.
especially with Adobe Audition. Adobe Audition, I think, is the best one to remove manually. The
Yeah.
rest of them, it becomes increasingly more difficult to manually remove them. But Adobe Audition has an auto heal that you can target them specifically in the wave and remove it.
Mhm.
But with Isotope, RX Standard, and the mouth declick, not the declick from Elements, that's the cheaper version that people will
Mhm.
come and say, "Hey, I bought it. It said declick." No, it has to be mouth declick. So unfortunately, they only sell that within Standard and Advanced. They do have a subscription now.
Mhm.
By the way, we're not sponsored by Isotope, although that might be a bad idea. You can sponsor us, Isotope.
If you want to, we're
If
open
you
to it
want, as
for
we are
sure.
open. But anyways, I'm sure both of us have sold a lot for Isotope. But
Yeah.
anyways, the point is that really is the best plugin, and you can run it. It does. You don't even have to run it very hot. It really does work well. And there you go. You run it, and you move on. That's basically it. I mean, that solves 99.9% of the problem. It really is
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the other piece, to, again, dealing with it at the source is, something I was talking about when we had our flub at the beginning. It's opening your mouth more. It is reducing the contact points within the mouth between your teeth, your lips, and your jowls. Something that I do, I guess, just out of years of habit, is when I close my mouth when I'm reading, I never actually close it. It's always still a little open. I don't bring
ah,
my teeth together. I don't bring my lips fully together if I can
that's
avoid
true.
it,
Yeah.
because that gets rid of a lot of that extraneous sound. And if you are opening your jaw more and you are really articulating, you are once again going to reduce a lot of that.
That's a really good point, which we talked about. I can't whether it was a couple weeks ago about overdoing your
Enunciation.
mouth noise when you're
Mhm.
doing or your mouth movements when you're
Yep.
doing tongue twisters
Yeah.
when you're trying to get better. We've got quite a bit of questions.
Yeah, we do.
Let's see. Professor Tracy said, "Good morning from Rochester, Minnesota. What are the pros and cons of different ways to remove the mess?" So I think that's what we were
Yeah.
talking about. I think the pros and cons, honestly, for me, if you have isotope, arc standard, or you can do it manually, clearly the pros and cons are going to be time.
Yeah.
Right? Time is, doing it manually is fantastic. It works just
Yeah.
as well, especially with again, it's very difficult to do it with Audacity manually. It just is.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Studio One is again because they don't have built-in programs like the Auto Heal that target
Right.
the specific clicks and
Yeah.
noises. But I would say time. I would
Mm,
say time. That's why like time is so
agreed.
precious, especially when you're doing long. I'm talking about like if you're doing a book that's 6 hours long. Can
Mhm.
you imagine going manual? When I first started, that's what I had to do because I didn't know any better. So it
Yep.
just took quadruple the amount of time. So I would say time for me is the biggest one.
I think, for a lot of my stuff and, a lot of other actors, I know it is being
Oh,
able to
sorry.
deliver, something that is the same quality as what you present, and what I mean by that is a live directed session. If
Mm.
you're somebody who has a ton of mouth noise and it's been strategically removed from all of your sample materials, and somebody hires you to do a directed session and you are just a clicky
You're like,
mess,
what is this?
they're gonna be very upset. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so interestingly enough, Alex is improving on hydration beyond drinking water because I've been coaching football for a while and we're
Mhm.
constantly talking about rehydration. Interesting, like if you ever watch runners or anything like this, people, interestingly enough, they yes, of course, people talk about Gatorade, but actually chocolate milk in general, as well as bananas. All right, but typically milk and chocolate milk, not of the day, but it is a great tool to hydrate you or rehydrate you even.
Wow.
Which you'd never think, but it is. It
But I would
really is.
never drink it during a session.
No, no, no. So this
Yeah.
is this is just like water.
Yep.
When you are
Agreed.
during something, there's
Mhm.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the work you do the day before
Yeah.
that really helps you for that.
For sure. Because in the
Um,
immediate, all you're really doing is quenching thirst. It's not the same thing.
Absolutely. So about raw audio, my interface is the Presonus Relevator IO44, which which does some tweaking as I record. Does that mean I am not able to send a completed raw file since doesn't even record raw?
So I'm not familiar with that interface, but my answer to that would be if the interface has a preamp, turn it off. There's always a way. There's
Absolutely.
never not a way to turn off a preamp. So it's somewhere in the software settings.
And if it is a digital interface, like it has a digital component, meaning
Mhm.
like so we have Universal Audio has a digital component, meaning that
Yep.
you can run um, software as pre-recording.
Yep.
So like, right now on my microphone live, you're listening to a little bit of it compressed with a little bit of cleanup and stuff. So I can do that. So if that's the case, then yeah, you just have to turn it off, like Gabby said. I mean, you have to like make sure it's not going. But that could be it. But if it's
He's
randomly
saying
doing that, I don't know of any interface that just does that randomly.
yeah, so
That's an interest. I don't know that one though.
he or she is saying no preamp. So honestly, that can't be. Like something's wrong with that because that's not a thing. A preamp either an interface is either just an interface or
Hmm.
it's an interface married with a preamp and the preamp can be turned on or off.
Right.
So you got to do some more research on your gear
Mhm.
because yeah, there's no such thing as an interface that suppresses.
What I'm thinking is that it's either it's a digital component or
Mhm.
there's hardware attached to it,
Yeah.
something, right? Because if it's analog, just like the DBX 286S, right? This is another preamp that's attached that offers like buttons that allows you
Mhm.
to turn up and down,
Yeah.
different areas of like, bands, and also you can turn on a noise gate and things like that. So yeah, so I would, but if you're having issues and you can't get a general raw file, yeah, you definitely want to figure that out.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Chris said the Scarlet 2i2, but I would not recommend that one. It's a dirty box. I don't typically recommend that to people. It too many people have had problems with Scarlets. And yes, they're inexpensive, but they're not always the solution. So just keep that in mind. What else we got? Because there's a lot of questions. Holy cow.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think we were
Oh,
just
okay.
kind of so I think you guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for being on this journey with us today with the
crazy stuff.
ridiculous. I don't know what happened with YouTube there, but we were able to make it back and have
Yeah,
a good conversation. And I think there's always going to be a challenge with your, I mean, while you're figuring it out, you know what I mean. It
yeah,
always seems like one problem after another, but I promise there will come a point where you'll get there and everybody be like, it's all, and
yeah.
then you'll be fine and everything's going good. And then you just get this stupid itch to buy a new mic and then it all starts over again. So,
And with regard to mouth noise, just experiment,
yeah.
right? Experiment with the different solutions. Like do a week of nothing but lemon water. Do a week where you eat green apples or green applesauce during
Hmm.
sessions.
Hmm.
Do a week where every time you record, you go brush your teeth first, right? Like there's all these different techniques and you just have to kind of try them out. There's also a spray and a gel. It's made by
Yeah, you can get that
Biotin
off, and you
or
can get, and there's
Biotin.
also lossengers, even
Yeah,
there's
there's
all sorts of
lozenges, there's
stuff
all
that you can get
sorts of stuff.
from Amazon. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's
I'm a
super, super.
huge fan of Thayer's, the opera lozenges that have slippery elm
Hmm.
root in them. Those
Hmm.
things are amazing. Yeah, you kind of have to experiment and find a, a solution or a combination of solutions that works for you.
And that was important. I'm sorry. I mean, I had to say this to Gab because what Gabby just said is so. I want to just reiterate that 1,000 times because someone mentioned green apples.
Mhm.
I tried green apples; they didn't work for me, but
Mm.
they work for other people.
Mhm.
Which means that if you do something and it's like, wait a minute, it's not working. What's wrong with me? It's not you. It's
Mm.
just what Gabby just said is so true.
Yeah.
Whatever you find, experiment with these things to find what works for you. That's the key.
And if this is something I've learned over the years, if you're still really, really dealing with an excess amount of mouth noise, go to an ENT.
Mm-hmm.
Go see an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they do. They
Mm-hmm.
will be able to most likely pinpoint, figure out what the heck's going on,
Mm-hmm.
or give you a prescription grade um, something or other to
Yeah,
help the situation. Yeah, a topical.
absolutely.
Yep.
All right, gang. Well, thank you guys so much. As well as just as again a reminder, now is the time. We are fully open. VO Academy and our new tiers are fully available
Mhm.
and open for you to join. We're back to school, so this is the time, and we can't wait to have you check out vojourney.com. You can see me and Gabby and all kinds of other coaches and amazing community. So we're super thrilled and hope you guys have a wonderful. Well, wait, we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, join us tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's
join us
Open Forum
tomorrow. Open
Friday.
Forum
Bring
Friday.
your questions.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take it easy. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.